50 years of research on attachment patterns, they found 4 attachment styles or patterns that begin in childhood, and we take them right into our adult relationships, unless we work on them or go to therapy or something happens to change them. Otherwise, they go right into our adult lives. The number 1 is secure attachment. Of course, that's the good one, where children feel safe and they trust and they view their parents as what's called a secure base. I can come to you. You're there for me. You're emotionally available. You get me. You're attuned to me. I can lean on you. You're a port in the storm. That's what kids need. Second is what's called avoidant attachment. These are the children that have parents and caregivers that are distant and rejecting and emotionally unavailable. So after a while, the child tries to go to the parent, but nobody's home. They're not there, they're not available, or they're rejecting. What do the children do? They're not stupid. All living things adapt to their environment. So after a while, the child, this is what the child does, deactivate their attachment needs and feelings and behaviors. Deactivate, put them away. Avoid, deny, repress. So by the time the kid is 5 years old, the child says, I don't need anybody. I'm strong, I'm independent. Really? You're 5 years old. They've deactivated their attachment needs and feelings because it's not paying off. They keep going and nobody's home. So they put them away. Now, this child grows up, becomes an adult, wants to settle down and find a partner, maybe a marriage. And they find one. What do they do in their adult relationship? Same thing. I don't need you. Ball and chain, you just want to control me. They don't do intimacy and trust and closeness. They're compulsively self-reliant and independent. Well, why did you get married? I don't know. Seemed like a good idea. They will not get close. So do not marry somebody like this. You will be very lonely. The third pattern is the opposite. It's called anxious attachment. These children have caregivers that are inconsistent, unpredictable, and highly anxious themselves. So the poor kid never knows what to expect. It's a chaotic, unpredictable environment. One day the parent is available, one day they're gone, one day they're nice, one day they're angry, and they're highly anxious themselves. So because of that unpredictability, what do the children do? They're on pins and needles. They hyperactivate their attachment needs and feelings and behaviors. These are the kids who are clingy, overly dependent, separation anxiety. I'm not going to school. I want to stay here and be right next to mommy all day long. What do they do as adults? Same thing. Let's say they settle down and get married. Overly dependent, possessive, jealous, frightened of abandonment. To the point where, what does their partners do after a while? Abandons them. The partner says, you know, I can't breathe in this relationship. I'm out of here. And then the person says, you see, I knew you were going to dump me. Well, you created it. They're so needy and dependent and frightened and anxious of loss that they cling. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy is what it is.
So how about the anxious attached to the avoidant?
That happens a lot. Yep, you get the anxious and the avoidant. What a marriage made in heaven. We get that a lot. And the more the avoidant avoids, the more the anxious clings. And the more the anxious clings, the more the avoidant runs. We get that a lot. Pursuer distancer. That's what it's called. Oh boy, we get that dynamic a lot. Now the last one is the most pathological and clinically difficult and challenging to work with. In the literature, it's capital D, meaning disorganized, disoriented attachment. Sadly, these are the children who are the victims of severe chronic abuse and neglect, sexual abuse, physical abuse, cults, traumatizing, abusing the children, impoverished orphanages for 3, 4, 5 years in Eastern Europe and other places. multiple homes in the foster care system. These children have no organized strategy whatsoever. It's not about hyperactivating, deactivating. They're just out there confused, acting bizarre, trusting no one. These children and later adults dissociate as a defense mechanism because they've been so abused. They will appear psychotic. They will get angry and punitive and hurt people physically. They'll attack their caregivers and others. Very disoriented. And what are they like when they're adults? The same. They abuse their children from generation to generation. Now, if you know the DSM, children with this history of severe abuse and neglect like this, where do they often end up by the time they're teenagers and young adult? Diagnostically. Access to personality disorder. They turn into your borderline personalities, antisocial, psychopathic, sociopathic personalities, narcissistic personality. Very difficult to treat. The penitentiaries and jails are filled with young guys and gals with this history. Antisocial,